Afternoon, everyone. Really interesting presentation so far. Hopefully, this will continue in the same vein. We deliberately try not to talk about the word pensions when we're talking about benefits strategy. There's a lot more to it now. So just to let you know who we are an owner-managed business with 3 strands. So we have investment management business, a financial planning business, and a benefit consulting business that deals with companies, and that's where I work. We deal with over 100 companies, 99% in the creative sector, and we deal with companies from 2 employees up to thousands and everything in between. So today I'm just going to have a very kind of quick gallop through the importance of benefit strategy. So that really means just being intentional about the employee benefits and the well-being support you're offering to your people. And how those can help really reinforce your brand. It's interesting that a lot of the conversations we're having at the moment are around well-being, but also around how well-being fits into a benefit strategy and then what that means for the brand. So we'll just unpack that a little bit. I think one of the important things to say is that a benefit strategy doesn't just apply to companies with 1,000 people or more. Companies with 2 or 3 employees, or those really sort of early stage businesses, are just as important that they have a benefit strategy. In fact, you could argue it's almost more important, because at that startup stage, it's just really important to set the tone for your business and to make sure that you can recruit and retain really good quality people, and this all helps. So just to have a look at the components of a benefit strategy, there are 4 main components really. The first thing really is to select the employee benefits and the well-being support you're going to offer to your people. And a benefit strategy really is about encompassing all of that in the round. So firstly, there's 3 keys to selecting what benefits you want. Firstly, benefits that match your culture is really important. Benefits that align with your mission and values, and benefits that are right for your people. So the old adage is it's money wasted spending money on life insurance for employees when none of your employees have any liabilities, they don't have a mortgage, they don't have dependents, and actually they would much more value something like an online savings vehicle, etc. So it's just important to be intentional about the benefits that you're offering. The other 3 stages, as you can see, really all fit together quite nicely. So you select the benefits that are right for your people, right for your mission and values, and that match your culture. And then communication is absolutely critical. So there's no good spending time on one of these really great benefit strategies if you're then not communicating them well. It's important also then to identify somebody within the business that takes ownership of the benefits and the strategy. Again, it's just really important that you're seen as a business to be intentional about what you're doing with the benefits, and that you're listening to people's feedback. So have an individual who's responsible for that, and also encourage employees to own their benefits. So as you know, I'm sure one of the old adages of engagement is that you involve people early to engage them, and asking the question of employees about what benefits they value, what well-being support they would value is a really powerful tool. And then, as ever, with process maps like this, you review at the end and you refresh, and then you return to the beginning at the next point. We have some clients that do this really well and effectively, and the benefits and the outputs are really tangible. So having a joined-up benefit strategy, which reinforces how the company works, is a really important thread. So why is it so important? Well, there's all sorts of research that shows how benefits influence how people feel about working for the company, and how they help to frame the brand. So a good benefit strategy really helps a company to live and breathe its brand. It's in effect a company putting its money where its mouth is. And it's just a really great way for a company to put a marker down. It's putting a line in the sand, really the company saying, okay, this is what our brand is, and this is how we deal with our people, and this is the kind of business we are. And it all ties together really well. And of course, being commercial, which we all are, the better you make your people feel about your brand, the more effective they will be. The aim of every business owner is to have every employee as an active advocate of you and your brand. And we have some clients, as I say, that do this really well. And even on Zoom calls, it's really apparent when we're dealing with those companies that have really nailed this benefit strategy aligning to the brand piece, because everybody we talk to just gets it. Everybody really believes in the company, and everybody is an advocate. And as we all know, people talk, never mind Glassdoor, you know, we're all in sectors that are fairly close. And so people talk and people know which businesses have a really good setup and which businesses are a bit more piecemeal. So how it can help build a brand, lots of ways really. If you want to portray your company as innovative, caring, people-focused and responsive, for example, it's no good giving your people the bare minimum as a benefit. So your bare minimum employee benefit is a payment into a pension scheme or under the auto-enrollment scheme. But if your brand is more about innovation and individuality, then your benefit strategy and the benefits you have should reflect that. And it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to do that. You can have benefits that are really individual and almost that each individual within your business can choose within the strategy, which makes the benefits much more personable. It boosts your reputation within the sector and engages employees. It creates the culture that we mentioned earlier, and it's just really important as far as your benefit strategy goes to be seen to have a thought through end-to-end approach that, as I say, really reinforces your brand and reinforces your culture. I mentioned stats earlier. I'm not going to wheel loads of stats out, but there are significant research done about the retention and recruitment power of having good benefits and having those benefits wrapped up in a benefit strategy. So when you're recruiting people, being able to say, this is what the business is about, this is how we work, and this is how we interact with our people. This is why people are important to us, because our benefit strategy says that we are innovative, responsive, and we care for people holistically and individually. So really important to have that benefit strategy that reinforces what you're about. And as well, a lot of companies now are very conscious of the corporate and social responsibility piece, quite rightly. Ethical pension investing, for example, is becoming a really big thing. You may have heard of the Make My Money Matters movement, which is led by Richard Curtis. And it's just becoming such an important conversation with employees. So we're working with a number of our clients at the moment, helping them to move their pension funds into socially responsible or ethical pension investing. And again, that's a really good example of a company putting its money where its mouth is and having a very ethical outlook and ethical brand and wanting to appear as a really sort of corporate social responsibility business, and actually facilitating something within their benefits which backs that up. A really powerful message internally and externally, and we're seeing it now starting to become one of those questions that high quality recruits are asking when they join businesses. You know, what's your corporate and social responsibility? How does that align with how you treat your people? How do you live that? And so that the ethical investment of pension funds, just one really good example of how your benefits strategy can reinforce your brand. So just some pitfalls to avoid very quickly, and these are things that we see all the time. And if you're guilty in inverted commas of some of these, don't feel bad. You're really not on your own. But it might just be a bit of a nudge to have a look at your benefit strategy and to maybe think about how you're structuring it. So some common pitfalls. Piecemeal is really common. So as a three-man business starting out, you'll do the minimum, understandably, and you'll put the auto-enrollment pension in because you have to, for example, or because you want to start on that track. And then a few more people join and you add another benefit and you add a cash plan for medical cover, etc. And before you know where you are, you might have 3 or 4 different benefits that you've just acquired over time with no strategy behind that. So that's a common pitfall. And that really ties in with no purpose and no strategy. So the question really is, why are you paying money into benefits for your people? And what are you achieving as a business from that? And what value are you getting? And what's your strategy? One size fits all. As I say, if you have probably, I don't know, 10 people or more, the chances are that those 10 people will have different needs, and different benefits will mean different things to those people. So have a look at how you structure your benefits to take account of individuals in the business. When I was at my previous company, we did X. Again, is a really common pitfall. Not always bad, but don't be driven by that, I think is what I'd say. Make sure that your business has its own strategy. Not maximising your brand capital. So again, I mentioned one of the companies we're working with on the ethical pension investing. You know, they are absolutely making the most of their brand when they are delivering these conversations internally as well, to say, you know, this is what we as a company are about, and therefore this is what how we're living and breathing that behind the scenes. And loads of PR comes with that. Loads of a very productive press comment and LinkedIn comment comes from companies who are driving that kind of agenda. And then the last pitfall really is the classic drop and forget, which is to say, okay, I've done these benefits, they work, or I've had a look at my strategy, I'm happy with what we're doing on the benefits, and then it goes into a virtual bottom drawer and doesn't get looked at again. It's really important that all of the benefits that you have, or even if you have one or two, it's really important that those benefits are regularly reviewed. You have conversations around, do these still work for us? Is this still what we want to do as a business? And does this reinforce our brand? And that's it for me. That was a very quick skid around. So